been fantastic. Geo Gonzo, you've been brilliant. Hammers chat all the way, baby.
Hello and welcome to Halftime Live. It's currently Watford 1, West Ham United 1. We're here to talk about the first half and what we think Pellegrini should be doing at halftime in order to get the extra 2 points. Gonzo, let's get your brief thoughts overall. Are you happy with what you've seen in the first half?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's easy to concentrate on the negatives, but I think there's been a lot of positives as well. There's a number of attacking players who are playing very, very well. Clearly, we are susceptible defensively. That's always the case. It doesn't take a majestic move to break us down. All they have to do is create a spare man on an overlap, and it doesn't even have to be particularly quick. It doesn't even have to be when we're defending particularly high either. So I thought their goal was a relatively simple one. It was sort of join the dots coaching, if you like, to create that overlap, and I think the guy got the run on Ogbonna there. But we can concentrate on that, but also think we've done an awful lot of merit attacking Geo. So from that point, happy with a lot of what I've seen. I'm
in the middle. I think there's some positives, but I think they've been the better team in the first 45 minutes, and I think at half time Gracia will be saying to his players, just do what you did in the first half and we'll win this game. They probably should be leading. I think they've had plenty of chances to score. They've just been poor finishing. We've not really had that many, although saying that we've come close to scoring another couple ourselves at the other end. I do think there's one outlet that we're getting which is really benefiting us though, and that's Ryan Fredericks. He's constantly finding space down that right hand side, and while we can all debate about whether Yarmolenko deserved to start, and I didn't see him in many people's sort of starting 11s, him being left footed is really helping Ryan Fredericks, because he's able to cut in, create that 3-yard gap from the touchline. Fredericks is going down it, and he's using his left foot just to play it through the left back and centre back. A right footer can't do that as easily. They've got to turn. It's a bit awkward and stuff. That's I'd like to see it happening more on the other side with Masuaku and either Lanzini or Anderson, whoever's out there. But Fredericks is getting loads of room. But his crosses, to be fair, a couple of his crosses have been good. It's been well defended by Dawson at the front post and stuff. But we need to get bodies in the box. A couple of times we do get down the sides. There's Haller in there. We need to start getting people in there. We'll talk about the goals. We've got a review to do after this, so we'll go into goals in more detail then. But are you concerned about how many chances Watford have had in the first half? I mean, Dakota should have perhaps done better. Cleverly's had a couple himself. Delafield's been looking dangerous. Diop's made a couple of good blocks. Yeah, but
we're easy to get at, which is why we've got to be clinical when we attack as well. And I think we're lucky that they do have some of their better attacking players out injured for whatever reason. Yeah, we can be got. Having said that, I do feel that there's been an improvement. I think Rice is playing well. There's been a number of times when I've liked the way he's closed down. Also liked the way he's distributing the ball well off his left foot as well, with some longer passing. Really, his game seems to be expanding and growing. Clearly, there's a benefit of having Noble in there as well. I think, but they're going to continue to get at us. What I think what's majorly worrying about this one is we have our normal weak points of defence, which is fullback, but they seem to be able to get at us through the middle as well, so they could almost take their pick, really.
Yeah, I think Noble and Rice are a bit exposed at times. Sometimes they're certainly overrunning there. Watford are playing quite narrow, I think. They are trying to come in a little bit and then try and wait until they're in the final third. Then they're trying to stretch the game a bit with Delafeu and that. But I think when they're sort of in the middle third of the pitch, they're happily to play quite central. That's why I think Fredericks is getting plenty of room. I think Noble's made a big difference in the first half, just being on the pitch, really. I think Rice has had a good game, like you said. I think our defence is not doing too bad, actually, despite the fact that Watford had a lot of chances. I think it's just because they've got too much to do. Anderson, Lanzini, Yarmolenko need to do more defensively. Their goal, you could see Mark Noble screaming at them, saying, you three need to start getting back a bit, because at times Watford are going forward. We've already got the 6 at the back, and it's, like you said, their goal came from them just simple dot-to-dot passes, and then they were in. They created a massive gap to get in and stuff. Substitutions, is there anything you do at half-time? Pellegrini's made 2 subs. in both his previous games, and they usually, well, both of them have involved Antonio. Took him off in the first game, took him on in the second game. Would you be using Antonio again in the third game?
Yeah. Not to be controversial, not to argue with you for argument's sake. If I agreed, I'd say it. I'd have Yarmolenko off. To be perfectly honest with you, I actually thought he started quite nice. There was some quite neat touches. There was a particularly nice inside pass with his left foot, which there was one of them didn't even get read by Fredericks. He wasn't on the same wavelength, and I think he's quite neat, and I think he's a bright player, Yarmolenko, but he looks unfit. He looks to be almost playing with a bit of a limp, maybe. Maybe that's just the way he runs. Maybe I've got that slightly wrong. I totally agree with what you say with regard to letting Fredericks overlap. Unfortunately, I think Fredericks going to have to get in that position 10 times to produce something worthy of note, because his technique does let him down. There was one good particular cross which I think, as you said, the centre-back got in front of Haller, and so it didn't come to him, but I never feel he can really get the ball off the ground and lofted. That was a skimmer, that was across the floor. I never really feel confident with Fredericks that he's going to, don't expect it to be Trent Alexander-Arnold, but actually get some loft on the ball. He always seems to be falling over when he's crossing and stuff like that. So whilst I agree with what you say tactically about the left footer putting him in, I'm not sure how much benefit there is to him getting in there, because I don't think there's an end product. Hopefully, I'm eating my words. So I would take Yarmolenko off, and I would put Antonio in there. That being said, if Antonio comes on, we'd like to see him cutting in and shooting with his left and it going out the stadium. But I would bring that on, because I really think Lanzini and Anderson in particular are threatening them, and Lanzini's just a joy to behold, and I think Felipe Anderson is a millimetre off of having a very good game and doing something brilliant. So Haller, well, Craig did a Bruce Lee thing. He did some sort of contorted Bruce Lee kick, which could have resulted. I want to see a bit more from Haller, but I think we just need to get at them from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, because I think Yarmolenko's creating room for Fredericks now, doesn't mean I necessarily think he's had a good game overall. I think he's done okay. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's on his way to a booking, though, Yarmolenko. He's done 2 or 3 fouls on Holbass. You can just tell he doesn't want to run back, and instead of running back, he just thinks, I'll just take him out the halfway line. Sorry, it's not a bad thing to do. I'd rather he fouled him than stood there and let him go, because there was one period, I think it was Anderson and Lanzini, I think it was Capui had the ball. Anderson and Lanzini just stood there watching him, and Capui just jogged off with the ball, and they were just watching him. I thought, well, if you're not going to tackle him, at least get in his way or something, just break it down. But I think Antonio needs to get on, because he's in form. He's in form at the minute, so it's silly not. He should have been on the pitch from the start, really. But let's get him on there, because while Fredericks is getting in good space, Masuaku needs to get forward a little bit more. I don't know why we keep putting in low crosses. We've got a guy who won the most aerial duels in Bundesliga last season in the box, and we're hitting it along the deck to him. I get that Craig Dawson's fantastic in there. He's a really good defender. Every time they get a corner, they're aiming for Dawson for a reason, and a couple of times he's got on the end of it, and he's beating Ogbonna in there every time. But Ogbonna's doing well to be in the way and make Dawson commit fouls and stuff. Ogbonna's doing his best to stop Dawson attacking. But, let's supply Aller in the air rather than just keep booting it along the deck at him and hoping that it goes in. What's your feeling and prediction then? You said 3-0, so that's out the window. But the thing is, though, I think we'll score in the second half, but I also think we're going to concede as well. I think, like I said, I think Watford is. They'll be saying, just do the same again. Just repeat what you're doing. We've got a strong bench for you. I've got the graphic on the screen for you guys watching on the stream. We've got Zabaleta, Balbuena, Fornals, Sanchez, Antonio, and Yeti. No Wilshere, no Snodgrass. So we don't know if they're injured or just left out. You'd imagine at least one of them is injured. But are you feeling confident that we're going to nick 3 points from this?
What does give me confidence is I feel that we can improve. We do have those substitutes. I think Watford have played their hand, if you know what I mean, bearing in mind their bearing in mind their injury crisis. I think we have got players that we can bring off that bench and change it. So I would still feel that the advantage may be slightly with us from that point of view. But just very quickly, I know we've got to go on Masuaku. He's very neat, he's very tidy, he's skillful, he's got close control. But if you're going to be as poor as he is defensively, then please do something exceptional when you get out there. I don't just want just a neat touches. You're right, a cross, a shot, something. He needs to provide something electric in the final third. If that's the point of having him in the team.
Yeah, I think he's been looking neat and tidy, but it's time to. I want him to look a bit dangerous as well.
Yep.
If he can do that, then he'll have a good time. I think Watford's bench is really good as well. By the way, they've got Welbeck and Sarr on there, so they've got game changers. We've got game changers. We'll be back at full time on the channel to discuss if the game did indeed change. I'm expecting goals in the second half. Here's to 3 points for West Ham, and we'll catch you in 45 minutes. Come on, you Irons.